Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Be Black, Go Green panel. This is for those Rangers who have been green, black, and in some cases both.
Right, yeah.
So, welcome our panelists, and let's hear a quick pair of introductions.
Well, I am Johnny. I played Adam, the Black Ranger. Yes, Green Turbo.
I'm Richard, and I played Xander in Mystic Force.
And I'm Jack Guzman. I played Danny Delgado in Wild Force.
All right, so let's start bringing up audience members for questions. So, first one up, you have a question? Come on. Oh, you can come right up and grab. Come on. You're closest to the mic.
Johnny, my question is for you. In Mirror of Regret, Adam had to go completely paranoid and afraid. How did you draw up that kind of acting ability for that?
Well, I was afraid of the camera. Let's see. Let me go back into my mind. Mirror of Regret, that was a long time ago. I remember just thinking, I remember just acting, I guess. I just pretended like I was afraid, you know. Yeah, I'm trying. I get confused with some of those older episodes. They're kind of a blur for me. Sure.
All right, let's give a hand for our...
Sorry later, everybody.
You should introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Azim Rizik, and I did a show you may have heard of it called Power Rangers. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I showed up for my panel and I was the only one there. So we started doing science questions. How do you guys think Power Rangers breathe in space? I don't know, we came up with they morph oxygen.
Always did it. My question is for Richard. Whose idea was it for you? Because you're the only one that kept our New Zealand accent for a lot of the seasons around there. Was it your idea to keep it? Did the director ask you to do it? Did you have difficulty with the American accent?
I started off, I auditioned doing an American accent.
Okay.
My American accent probably wasn't really good. And I think when we were workshopping it, I actually don't know the real answer to this. It could have been that I wasn't getting the American accent right, and they were like, you know what? It's Australian, very similar to New Zealand, but
Oh, sorry.
I actually prefer the New Zealand accent, so I'll take that as a compliment. But I think they just thought it suited the character as well, and they're like, you know what, this kind of works. And when they told me that, half of me was really relieved. I was like, great, I just can be myself now. The other half was like, you know, like I wanted that challenge of speaking American. But,
Can you try it right now?
Can
Try
I?
an American accent?
Oh, man.
Well, you just said you wanted a challenge.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I don't know, it's Morphicon time, or what do you want to say?
It's Morphicon.
Magical Force, Mystic Force.
Magical Force, Mystic Force.
Woo, yeah, totally got it. Yeah. Okay.
I had a little practice since.
Thank you very much.
What are you, an actor?
Hi, thanks for just coming in. This is actually for Johnny. Welcome back, by the way, Nero. How many of you guys have heard of Eureka 7 here?
What?
Eureka 7, the anime. I just want to know, now you're back as Renton for High Evolution, I want to know what's the difference between the Renton from the original show and Renton coming in for the High Evolution.
Many years in between.
No, not really.
No, for me in life, yeah, a lot has happened since from when I originally did
Yeah.
the voice of Renton to now, and also when I first did it, I came in after they were already dubbing it.
Right.
And Renton was being dubbed by somebody completely different. And once I got sent to Japan, they were like, no, we don't like it. And then they wanted to recast, and I thought I was going in for just like a day player kind of thing, just like one episode. But then it was for the main character, Renton. And the reason they replaced the other actor is because they thought he sounded too old. And so what they had me do is constantly pitch myself up as high as I can every single time. So all my emotions for me, it sounded like, man, I feel like I'm complaining, you know? I was like, can I bring it down a little bit? No. They were just so afraid that I'd get replaced as well that they kept pushing me up. And so in the latest stuff, there's much more freedom. They're like, no, you can just do what sounds right. Yeah. But it was only really like the first 18 episodes that I had to speak like that. But yeah.
Cool. All right.
Cool beans.
Hi, my question's for Xander. Has Plan Xander ever worked? Has there actually been a time when Plan Xander actually worked?
I think it worked for Vita once, right? She made it work. No, it never worked for me. Unless you think work is get my head kicked in. It worked every time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Hi guys. First of all, Johnny, I was there for your last iShine concert. I was in the press pit. You guys were awesome. This is a question for you and the rest of the Black Green Rangers. When you were on set and you were doing fight scenes, do you remember like the injuries you dealt with doing the stunts, or like pulling a muscle or something like that?
Yeah. I don't want to say that us and the stunt guys were competitive with each other. We really enjoyed the spirit of competition. And we did have a kicking contest once, just to see how high we could all go. And one of the training rooms that we practice in is indoors, and it's got kind of a low ceiling with these little, I don't know what to call them, like rafter things that hang down. And all the rafters they were just like a foot above all of our heads. And these stunt guys really know how to kick. And I felt like I can do that. I can do the splits, I can kick that freaking thing. So they all took turns and only one of them could get it. And I got within 2 inches and pulled my hamstring.
You do parkour too, don't you?
I did do parkour. I never injured myself climbing walls or diving over concrete, but I tried to kick the ceiling, and that's when I pulled my hamstring. I think that was the worst I ever had. Somebody got hit in the face at some point in our season, but that was it.
I think on Power Rangers, for me, the worst, it wasn't even that bad, but I think it was Goldar and vice versa. And the reason I remember that is because there's a picture of it on the back of the VHS at least, and it's where the putties are flipping me, and the picture that they use is the one where I hyperextended my knee.
Oh.
So, like on the back, it's got a picture of me upside down, and I just like over-rotated a little bit and hyperextended when I landed. But it was like one of those things where you just shake it off and go, oh, let's keep going. It hurts, but let's do it. But it was
Cold.
But now many years later, I'm like, oh, that's what that
It'll come back.
The weather is changing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you guys injure yourselves?
Yeah.
No.
No, I cannot remember.
Just emotional bruising.
Exactly. No.
Oh, you Power Rangers too?
When the check came in, oh. All right.
I'm sorry.
Hi, my question is for all y'all. If they ever did a Forever Green or Forever Black, would y'all come back?
Oh, yeah.
But the way they need to remind us.
They could be forever blue, forever green.
You'll still show up.
I'm there.
As the one it's like, this is Forever Red, but alright. Boone had like that little Forever Mighty Morphin Black. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, I think it was in one of their special annual ones, right?
Yeah.
It was Forever Mighty Morphin Black. And it was kind of cool because it had like an old Adam. I think he's like the last surviving ranger, and he's like calling all these rangers to help, or calling all the Black Rangers to help. It was kind of cool. I was like, oh, Man, why don't they do that?
Hey, Johnny on the spot, right? That's what you said.
You could, but my character's name was Adam, so yeah, Adam on the spot.
I can tell you something. You seen the short circuit, you got Johnny Five.
That's right. You know what? Growing up, a lot of people did say Johnny number 5 to me because of Short Circuit. And Johnny Be Good. There's a lot. Go Johnny, go, yeah.
Johnny, that boom comic, is that the one with all the blacks on the cover? All the Black Rangers?
It did. I don't know if the cover had that, but they have it. They have
They
it.
got Kyle's booth?
I think so. Yeah.
One of the versions has all the Black Rangers on the cover.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they do have a cover that's got all of them. Yeah. The black and green. Black and green. That's interesting. Why is there a panel for black and green? It's like they're like, hey, let's gather up all the background rangers. Put them on a panel together.
Johnny, Dean, and Roger, when he's here. It's because you guys couldn't make up your minds on what you were.
I think we were the very
Go
unique.
say there is a very good explanation for that.
Yeah, that's true. You guys, this is gonna go over your head, but they never gave an explanation in my season. It's I switched colors. I switched colors with no explanation at all.
You just wanted to change.
I asked him. We have like a Zordon that's a character named Gosei, and I asked him why I'm turning to green, and he says there's a simple explanation for that, and then the alarm goes off. For 22 episodes.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They should have at the very end of your season
Right?
and been like, hey, so about that.
Yeah.
Mostly, first of all, I wanted to say I really appreciate all that you guys have done, both in the show and for the Ranger community. My comment actually is to Johnny specifically, because I found this out a few years ago when after it came out. You were Kun Jin in Mortal Kombat. Did you first of all, did you have fun doing that kind of character?
Oh yeah, I did.
And this is actually a silly question, so I don't expect an answer, but when do you think they're going to finally get the rest of the Mortal Kombat characters morphers? I have it in my universe, why can't they have it on TV?
No. Yeah, that was pretty surreal because I grew up playing Mortal Kombat, so to be a part of it was kind of, unique and weird. Now your spine is being ripped out. Like, oh, okay, I'll make that sound then. Your eyes are being pulled out. It's like, oh, okay, what does that sound like? And it was a little violent. But I remember the first time I went to a con after that, and they had it set up somewhere, and some people were playing it, and I was like, oh, I want to play it. I'm not very good at games.
Right.
But I was like, this 13-year-old kid goes up to the controller, I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I'll challenge you. And I played V, and he destroyed me. Actually ripped my spine out and everything. I was like, your mom let you play this? Your mom, man. Terrible kid. Destroyed me.
So, also a question for Johnny. You also did the voice of Lelouch from Code Geass, and there's going to be a new season of that. I'm curious, are you returning to voice Lelouch for that, or have you already done it?
I have not already done it.
Okay. Is that, okay, you probably know. All right. At the end of the series, it was somewhat ambiguous.
Did we just spoil it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, the series came out 10 years ago. I don't think
I know, if you haven't seen it yet, then shame on you.
Yeah.
Can I just say, that is so beautiful that you just tried to stop the spoiler.
Yeah.
Way to go. Round of applause for Johnny. Nice one.
The reason, most other ones that I'm in, I'd probably be like, whatever, I don't care. But this one's a really good anime, and it has a really cool ending, so if you haven't seen it, then it's kind of a bummer. But,
You gotta check it out.
All right. Well, I feel bad now. I'm going to ask anyway because I got mine.
Right. Yes, okay, Lelouch died.
You think he did? Okay, that was the question. Yes.
Well, that's the way it was set up in our version. But it was left like, who knows?
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So your interpretation was he's dead?
I kind of liked the idea of him being dead.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No offense, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool. Have you seen Shane, the old Western? Shane? Because at the end of that, it's a It's an old Western. I liked it. I thought it was great. But at the very end, Shane is, he's helped his family or whatever. The little kid is like calling out, like Shane sees him and he's riding off in the sunset. And the kid is, Shane, Shane, trying to call out to him, right? But he's just like riding off. And because like everyone's like, wait, he's dead. So he's like riding off in the sunset, dead. And this kid's calling out to him. But people are like, wait, is he dead or is he alive? But that whole idea is kind of cool. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah. You're all gonna go watch Shane now, right?
Yeah.
with a glass of lemon scotch. And
I just ruined it for you, but hey, that's like 100 years old, so.
Thank you.
Not that old, but.
First of all, I want to say that the Power Rangers, it always reminded me of old westerns. It reminded me of like the way I like Bonanza and Rifleman and just all the old school westerns. The way that sense of justice and the fighting, it just reminded me of old westerns. I always think the whole show is a big giant western. But anyway, the question I have is for all of you: if you could be in any other season than the one that you were initially in, which season would that be?
Oh, wow. When the show was Union, probably.
I think that's time for us.
Oh, man.
We all say that.
Hey, it's time travel anyway.
That's right.
So I actually have a two-part question. The first one's for all of you, and have you seen your Sentai counterparts at all?
Yes.
Which one? You've been in 3.
I don't know his name, but it was the Black Ranger.
So Zoolander,
Yes.
the Mighty Morphin one?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the Go Kaiser, which is Super Mega Force, has like such a huge fan base because it's so popular. If you actually knew that, would you feel like it put more pressure on you to do Go Sager and Go Kaiser?
Well, that was a beautiful question. Oh, what a sweet, gentle angel.
Well, you put an angel.
So your question is if...
Because Go Sager and Go Kaiser, which are Mega Force and Super Mega Force, are both super big in Japan. Go Kaiser
like, was it a lot of pressure to find out how big they were?
and to pull off both parts.
So when we first started, it wasn't because we just had Go Sager, and we didn't know we were going to change. They didn't tell us that. Right? I read that episode with everybody, and got that script that said I changed colors, and thought it was a joke. And up until the day before we shot that, I was continuing to talk to the producers and the writers, like, hey, so I've got some ideas on reasons why I changed colors if you guys need ideas. Like, maybe you just haven't thought about it. Is the script going to get updated? And they said, no, it's going to stay like that, no reason. I was like, so I actually am changing colors for no reason. Okay, why am I changing colors then? They said, oh, because we're changing seasons. Oh, and then they showed me the new season. And it's the 35th anniversary, and it's like the greatest Sentai that I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys like Go Kaiser, but you should watch it. That's awesome. Where have you been the last 2 days? Come over. That's so cool. Guys, Go Kaiser, they're all villains. The Power Rangers are. And they've stolen all the powers of the previous Rangers. All of you, we have all your powers. And we're just running through space, pillaging and raiding, and then we pass by this distant blue planet and see that there's aliens attacking them in like a really horrible way that seems like a UN Geneva Convention type of way. And so we're like, all right, we're gonna use our powers for good this once, and then we're going back to pillaging. That's like the whole season. And then we gain consciences.
When you do a good day and you feel good in your life, we're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah. So if they had loaded us with that plot, I would have been very nervous. But they didn't, right? We were still just in high school. So I was like, all right, we got this. I remember high school.
Well, there's your reasoning because you've seen it. It's because green and black alternate throughout the seasons. That's why your character got to alternate.
Yeah, between the most serious, stoic older brother and probably the goofiest Power Ranger that's ever been on the screen. Very smart, very smart. His just, I feel like I'm letting you guys down here if you don't see this. These were his moves. Oh my gosh. Who are clearly the same person. No issues there, guys. Great question.
So I just want to thank all of you for all the work, and especially Johnny. The way you portrayed Adam made me fall in love with him. Like, Tommy was my favorite, but you put Adam right there with him.
Thank you.
Johnny, how did I Shine form?
I Shine. Well, let's see. Let's try to tell a short version of it. It was after Power Rangers, and I couldn't get a job. And I had a guitar, broken cotton, trash bags full of clothes. I was virtually homeless, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I couldn't get a job at that time. Now, this is a lot different now, but at that time, I'm half Asian. I'm still half Asian. No, just still half Asian. I tried to change, but it didn't work out. Every time I wake up, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Asian. No, but there were not a lot of half Asian roles back in the day, you know? And so I would always get called out for like Chinese guy, but I wouldn't get it because there's a guy who looked much more Chinese than me, or a Caucasian guy, and a Caucasian guy would get it. So I had a tough time getting a job. A couple years there, kind of went through a depression. And anyways, I had this guitar and I was like, well, I got to figure out what else I'm going to do. And I just started to play, or teach myself to play and sing, and it kind of brought me out of this funk that I was in. You know, it helped release some emotions and things, you know. And then I thought, man, this is a pretty good thing. And then I had this thought, it wasn't like, this is what I'm going to do, but it was like, what if I start a band? We just kind of have a positive message and see if it does anything, goes anywhere, whatever, just kind of ride the wave. And yeah, it just kind of came out of that. It's Morph time. So it just kind of came out of that.
Without missing a beat.
But anyway, so yeah, it just does something that just kind of happened. But anyways, I Shine ended last December.
I'm sorry.
It's not a bad thing, it was a good thing. It was like, you know, we had 15 albums, over 100 songs, 13 years. It was time to make a change for me, you know. It's like, well, it's time to start a whole new chapter. So Polo's still with me and we're starting new music, but now we're calling ourselves Where Giants Fall. So.
Okay, it's like a
Nice. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Me and my twin brother first our Morphicon, so thank you.
First one? Nice.
First one.
Weird.
My question is to Johnny. What was your most memorable experience on the set of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie?
The movie. Oh my gosh. Most memorable. There were a couple moments. There were a couple. All right, I'll tell a real fast version. So me and Jace Frank were doing backflips off of this tree in Australia, and I would spot him, and his technique would be like to run, take 3 steps, and then I'd beat it just in case. We never needed, but we were always there to spot each other and do backflip, you know. My technique, I would run and I'd jump off the ground and I'd bounce off the tree, just like a frog. I was a frog, so. So anyways, he was there to spot me just in case. I was there always. We were doing this for a while, like maybe an hour or whatever, just flipping off this tree, killing time, because they're setting up lights and whatnot. We're in our cities, you know, our civilian wardrobe. And as he's running towards me, he's like, I'm just gonna keep going. And I didn't know what he meant. I was like, I thought, you know, oh, he's having such a great time, he just wants to keep doing this? So, you know, I was like, all right. So he's running towards me, and then, you know, I count the steps, 1, 2, 3, and I'm ready, 4, 5, 5.5. Oh, he just wants to keep going up the tree. And then I was like, and I look up, and now he's coming down towards me head first. And I was like, I did what anyone else would do. I got out of the way. There's no way I was going to try to catch him. What's he thinking? He's not a real Power Ranger. So anyways.
Did he say anything after you?
Well, he fell on his face. And he got a cut, and we got in big trouble because of it. because he had a cut, and he's our leader. And so we got in big trouble for goofing off, and I won't tell this full story of how he got back, but he tried to kill me. He tried to throw me from a moving vehicle. But it was partly my fault. Because I climbed out onto the top. Anyway, sorry. That's hot. That's all. There's a lot more to it. Good times.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hi guys.
Hey, wake up.
I'm sorry to keep the theme of the Johnny Young Boss Tale featuring some other Rangers.
Let's give it up for Johnny.
But I was wondering what it's like being part of both the Power Rangers community and the anime community together, because they're both giant nerd communities and you're a big part of both.
Well, it's awesome. You know, well, I mean, they're very different, but I don't know how to explain it. You know, I don't do theater. I don't know if you guys have done theater or anything. You've done theater. So, you know, when you do theater or if you play live somewhere, instantly, you know, there's a crowd that's like, yay, or boo, right? So you know immediately if what you did was good, right? But like, I mean, Power Rangers, because I've been on it for so long, but the anime stuff, or voiceover, the video games, I'm in a booth, you know? Maybe with some other people, and we just do the scene, the director doesn't go, great job, yeah, it's just we continue on. And so the cool thing is when I go to like a show like this, and then somebody will bring whatever, bleach or something, and then I'm like, oh, all that time that I spent working on that, this is the applause, you know? So it's kind of cool for that. But I don't know, I feel like, I don't want to say they're all the same, they're very unique, and it just depends on what series is brought to me, you know, the experience for me, I guess, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
That experience of being in the booth too, I don't know, I find that super difficult, not being in the booth, but the afterwards, the getting in your car and going, oh, what do I do with the rest of my day now? I just wasted it all in that booth now. Like, yeah, there's no applause, there's no like, they're doing a job, is that the cutting room floor I just left in there? Or?
No, it's true. You go in there and then you just don't have any idea. You did games or something, or?
Yeah, and just, oh my God, just the hours of Rangers. You're like, I don't,
yeah.
Is that right? Is that even gonna fit?
Yeah, you
they didn't have
like
my footage for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
So
like,
it's just wild?
For like 5 episodes at the beginning, we didn't have any footage to work on.
That was before that time stretch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You probably got it to tape.
That was freaky. No, yeah, that's tough.
My question is kind of for everybody, more specifically Johnny. Sorry. I've been following you for years. Found out you were on Bleach like 5 years after I started watching it, which was insane to me because you were always my favorite Ranger. For anybody that has voiceover experience, what would you recommend to somebody that has taken it up as a hobby and wants to take it to a paid stage?
To do voiceover?
Correct.
There's a lot. I mean, I guess, any one person might tell you something completely different, but it's voice acting, so I think having some acting experience is very important. Having a decent, clear speaking voice, taking direction well, that goes for anything, you know, anything you do. Go into an audition and the director wants to completely change what you came in with, you know, you got to be able to do that on the fly. A lot of times with voiceover too, you don't always get the script ahead of time, especially anime, video games, you just show up and you're cold reading, so you got to be able to just do that. You guys have anything to add to that?
Nailed that. Yeah, and just, you know, don't, if you really do enjoy it, there's going to be times when you don't, and you just need to keep pushing, keep going. You can't stop just because it gets hard. You know, that's the sign that you're doing it right. You got to the hard part. Now you got to push past the hard part. You know.
Thank you. That means a lot, guys.
For sure.
Another thing I'd maybe add to that is sometimes you can get tunnel vision, and that's your one target, voiceover. I just want to do voiceover for anime, and you're missing all these other opportunities. You know, so you just make sure that you keep your eyes open for anything else. Who knows? You might end up liking engineering or something, you know? I do. I like it. And now I got like a ton of gear, just like, It's ridiculous.
All right, I'm going to ask people, was anyone ever a fan of the show, maybe when they were younger, I guess for you three, or Johnny, before you became actors on Power Rangers?
I watched it as a kid.
You did, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
It airs in Australia as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge in Australia. Yeah.
That's so interesting. It was banned in New Zealand.
I'm from Canada, it was banned in Canada for a while.
And then we shoot it. It's like that. We won't watch it, we won't let our people watch it, but we'll create it.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah,
It was banned-
home.
I was just going to say it's banned in Canada for a while as well.
Really?
Came back, yeah.
Yeah, there are a few different places where it was banned.
Yeah.
Because it was so violent.
I watched it as a kid as well.
Cool, okay, thank you.
My parents kind of were a bit, didn't want me to watch it, I think, at the beginning.
I think there's
It's
a
fine.
picture of me somewhere with my best friend as a kid. We're both 4, and for whatever reason, we decided Power Rangers should be naked and whitey tighties with capes. So that's us. Okay. I'm actually not sure. I may have been you. I'm actually not sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you ever wear whitey tighties?
I don't remember that.
All the time.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Question for Jack. Since you had the 10th anniversary with Wild Force, were there any additional plans to celebrate this season besides Forever Red?
I think that we were supposed to do something, either a team up or get together and go to New Zealand. Something happened, but then it fell through, man, so we were never able to do it. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's a shame because we all wanted to. We definitely were excited.
The first one, yeah, the first anniversary.
For sure. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Hi
guys.
In New Zealand.
We were the last season.
Oh, is that right? Disney. Oh, is that right?
Hello. So I've been on the Power Rangers train for like over 20 years now. It got me into acting and martial arts. And I just wanted to know about...
Got you into acting?
Yeah. I always wanted to be Power Rangers. No, but like, I was a kid when the very first Mighty Morphin came out, and I was like, I want to be a Power Ranger, but I knew it didn't actually exist, so how can I be a Power Ranger and become an actor? That was my thoughts. So I just wanted to know about each of your martial arts experience before Power Rangers, like how long it got me into Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu, but I just wanted to know about each of your experiences.
Before Power Rangers?
Yeah, before Power Rangers.
Before Power Rangers, the only thing I really studied was Shaolin Kung Fu before Power Rangers.
I did. I had a few years in capoeira, and that was like my introduction into martial arts, because I really liked to dance as a kid. And then most of my experience though was in fencing, just kind of.
Fencing?
Yeah, super strange, but I really got into it.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, something's fair.
For myself, none whatsoever, which is why I took full advantage of the stunt doubles.
He's a smart man right here. He's smart on stage.
So, yeah.
I did karate growing up from like when I was 8 years old to maybe 20. It's called Goshinru. But I liked Bruce Lee and would read all his books and wanted to be like water.
Yeah.
And try and cheat. Like my brother would like hold up pieces of paper and do the 1-inch plants and try and break paper and then put a hole in the paper.
Did you ever put the hole in the paper?
Sometimes. You try, it's harder than it sounds.
What is it?
But you just hold up like a piece of paper and you have to punch a hole through it.
No.
But you can't cheat and like use your nails just before, like, yeah. Or put razor
like
blades
somebody
in
who
your-
did that kind of. Does it count?
Exactly.
Hey guys, how you doing? My question is for Johnny. What was the biggest lesson you learned on Devin's Ghost, the Legend of the Bloody Boy?
My biggest lesson?
Yeah.
In working on that?
Yeah, I mean...
Or you mean as a character?
Am I getting wrong? The one that you, unless I'm wrong, I think you also ended up directing a little bit. And yeah.
I did. Okay, so if you don't know, okay, yeah, there's a, actually Karen wrote a horror film.
Right.
And Koichi Sakamoto shot some of the action scenes, but then he had to go back and go back to work. I think it was for Power Rangers. And so I took over directing on it. Lesson that I learned. All right, so I had an issue with the DP because I think the DP wanted to direct. And the problem was I was on camera And so if I asked him, hey, can you put the 75 lens on this and do this and that, whatever, then I would go try to be on camera, and I see him doing something completely different. And I'm like, why is he doing that? And then so it was like this struggle constantly. And so for me, I was distracted. Like I was like, if I was on camera, I was like, why? Thinking in my head, what is going? He's not doing what I'm saying, tell him to do. You know, it's like he's just fighting me this entire time. So lesson learned. Don't do that again. I don't know. It was just maybe I should have really confronted him. I didn't. I just kind of I didn't. I would bring it up like, hey, why don't you do that? And he's like, well, it's better this way. But then I would go and talk to the producer. Hey, can you say something? Because I should have probably just confronted him, like actually face to face, and maybe even yelled in his face. I don't know. Maybe he needed that. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it was very frustrating.
There's many motivational tools.
Right. I think I learned a lot though, working on that though.
Cool, thank you.
Hey, Johnny, just wanted to make an acknowledgement. Years ago, I put a YouTube video up of iShine, and you contacted me saying that, oh, it's not the best video or whatever. And
what was it?
It was a video of you guys performing at another convention. And
you know what comment it was?
It was...
or what we were performing?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But the thing about it was that you said that you would give me a glossy of iShine. And I received that glossy, and it became my brother's birthday gift that year.
Oh, really?
And he really enjoyed it, and it was one of the things that he really enjoyed. He loves Adam, he loves you, and just you're one of my family's favorite superheroes in general. Just wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's funny, I wonder, sometimes, you know, I think there's probably now, I think maybe that was a while ago, right? That was a while ago, yeah. So like now I probably wouldn't mind so much, but I think earlier on, like people were filming with their cell phones and putting up stuff of our music, the sound would be like, that's not what it should sound like, you know, and then you just feel like, ah. Now I wouldn't care, but I mean, thanks for doing that for this, whatever.
Hello?
Hi! Hey!
So, would you like having some female Green Rangers like in the near future? I know Sentai is already getting in the act with Migo Ninja and Chameleon Green Key Ranger. And what do you think of the idea of having a female Green Ranger in a future season of Power Rangers? And do you think it should have started happening earlier?
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Very awesome. And yes.
Thank you.
That's welcome, yeah. I wouldn't mind at all. There should be females up here.
Yeah.
Okay, my question
You were
is...
like, yeah.
My question is, do you guys ever get recognized in public, or maybe back in your day, did you get recognized more often? And do you like getting recognized in public, or is it annoying?
I actually have been recognized. Every time I get recognized, it's by another actor that read for the part that didn't get it. Yeah.
So you probably don't enjoy it so much.
Well, they're all, it's not like they're mean, they're super sweet, but it's always just that, you know, oh yeah, do you like Power Rangers? No, not really, I just auditioned and I saw that you got it, and I recognized your face because I looked at that on the internet.
Oh man. That's funny. Maybe they'll learn something. Anyone else? Do you get recognized?
I mean, not really, man. I would love to get recognized a lot more.
Okay.
Just, you know, I don't know, I feel like, thank you. I just, when I was doing Power Rangers, yeah, I think obviously a lot, you know, I did in Hollywood, so a lot of people did recognize me, and that was a big deal. But the other jobs that I've done, it's, you know, very small parts on different shows and things like that, so I don't think people get to see me enough unless you just press pause and just hold it. You wouldn't be able to recognize me, so yeah, definitely not anymore. While I was on Power Rangers, at least.
Okay.
Sometimes I get recognised for Rangers or a show I did called Chasing Life, and it's great to have people come up and say they enjoyed watching the show that you did and stuff. And So yeah, it's never been a problem. It's always, come and say hello.
Yeah, it's definitely when I was on the show and it was, pretty hot, it was hard to get around or do anything without getting recognized. That went away for a bit, as people got older and the show changed. But then I started getting recognized for just doing the con circuit and that sort of thing. And now occasionally, yeah, people do recognize me. Half the time though, I feel like they're either don't want to say anything or they're not sure it's me.
Yeah.
But there's also been those times where I've been in like an elevator and somebody's looking at me and I'm like, all right, just say something because it's getting awkward, They're like, what high school did you go to? And I'm like, okay, that's not it. But it happens. I should say that, Angel Grove. Although I was at Stone Canyon for a bit, wasn't I? Yeah. Anyways.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say real quick, big fan, and I want to thank you guys for my childhood. My mother hated watching the actors beating the crap out of each other. That was just our show growing up, and I want to thank all of you for doing that. And my question is for you, Johnny. When you were playing Adam, I remember one particular episode was so memorable to me. I think it was Power Rangers in Space, where you came back on set to help out the Black Ranger. And I wanted to know how you felt coming back on that set, helping the new Power Ranger, and you stepping back as Adam, helping him out. And do you miss your long hair?
I know. They made me grow that out because they knew Jason was leaving, and they thought if I had long hair, it'd fool kids into thinking I was Tommy. No joke. But anyways, so it wasn't a good look. It was wild. It was weird. I was like Brandon Lee from The Crow, but like the hair wasn't done. It was just dry all the time. Anyways, enough of that. What were we talking about? So yeah, I came back in space. It was cool. It was kind of cool to be asked to come back. And I knew that we had the crack morpher thing, and I Koichi, you guys all worked with Koichi, so, right? Yeah, you worked with Koichi as well, right? And so Koichi asked me to come back, and then I was like, and he was like, yeah, and it's gonna be like, you sacrifice yourself to help the Ranger. I was like, do I die? He's like, no, you're not gonna die. I was like, but it'd be kind of cool if I die, right? And he's like, yeah, but you're not gonna die. It's like, all right, but think about it. I just thought it'd been kind of epic to go out like that. There are other things that, like, it was kind of awkward to be there too, because then I wasn't around like the other group. It was like they were kind of, they separated themselves from me, and I didn't have like my crew, like my guys that I was with, the Rangers. So it's like a different group of people. So I felt like I felt a little weird, because I was alone. Although when we came back and did retro, it was like we were all like, I guess we're the Retro Rangers, and we just kind of hung out. It was kind of cool. Everybody was super cool and friendly. That was actually a lot of fun. Going back for Overdrive and then going to New Zealand for me, which was the first time for me. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Cool.
Did you guys go back for anything? You said you didn't go back.
I went back for one of the conventions in New Zealand.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, well, I went back with Alex. We went for a convention, and then we added another 2 weeks, and we just visited all the crew. It was awesome. They're all the crew. If you guys don't know, it's the crew. New Zealand's very small, and the crew for Power Rangers is also the crew for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Spartacus and Last Samurai. The great movie The Last Airbender, which never speak of again. And so when I went back there, yeah, I just got to see everybody. And they all live in different places in the island. It's cool.
If asked, would you guys do a cameo appearance in a new season or perhaps a new movie? In a heartbeat?
Only if Johnny was in the episode.
Thank you.
I still think you guys, I know that there's probably, 40 of you, 50 of you here. You guys should get on there and ask for that Forever Black. If you want it to happen, it's gotta be you guys. Do you? Don't worry about it. I'll work that out. You guys make it happen. And we'll show up. We'll be whatever color. I'll wear pink if that makes you happy.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for coming out for all of us. I'm sure I speak for 99% of people here that this is like our biggest fandom or like TV show, movies that we're into. What are your guys' like biggest movies, like completely unrelated to Power Rangers, movies or TV shows?
Gosh, there's so many.
Yeah. My favorite show is The Amazing Race, man.
Yes.
Watch it every season. I'm all about reality TV, man.
I'm a huge Big Lebowski fan. Big Lebowski. Generally, a television show.
Man, there's so many. I like a lot of films and movies.
It's kind of impossible to nail one.
It's hard to, yeah. It's like this, I mean, okay, Big Trouble in Little China is one.
Oh!
I think it was ahead of its time. Here's one that maybe you don't know. Twilight Samurai. No, all right, I know. When I say Twilight, you think, what? But then I say Samurai, and you're like, No joke, though. It's actually a really good movie, Twilight Samurai. Go check it out. You guys should.
Maybe Bloodsport and Kickboxer.
Van Damme, that's Van Damme.
Oh yeah, I was really into Van Damme stuff as a kid, and then like Princess Bride, Back to the Future.
Yes.
And TV shows, maybe This Is Us. I'm really enjoying. I feel like that's really well written and well acted and important TV. And Lost. I love Lost.
Oh wow.
Lost. The airplane crash. But it screwed me up forever flying. But it was worth it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you, man.
Hello. I think black and green is where it's at, actually.
Yeah.
My question is to Zine.
Sure.
If you had creative control, which you did, regarding like the Sentai that were used in your season, if you had to make up a theory or kind of explanation as to why we have these Sentai in your season, what would it be?
Why we?
Like, what would be your if you had a theory as to why there's like Sentai characters in your team?
You turned into a few Power Ranger teams that had never actually appeared in Power Ranger.
Yes.
Right. Why that may have.
Absolutely. No, actually I do. But also I have theories for everything. So I think probably at least what we discussed was we turned into all of the other Rangers that had never appeared before because we just had stolen so many powers from around the universe, and we had so much power accumulated that it just, if you think about power as energy and energy as color, right? Then color is coming out in many different ways, and when we morphed into so many different Rangers, sometimes we just morphed into a color scheme you'd never seen before. That we'd never seen before, that we'd never experienced before. Because there were some episodes, you remember, where we were morphing into other Rangers and we had no idea how we were doing it. And we were, high schoolers. So I feel like it was that like uncontrollable adolescence, just teen, whoa, there's a Ranger I've never seen before.
Thank you.
Did that get a little too meta?
I think that was just right. You know what? I'm gonna bet the reason that all of a sudden you were goofy in the next season was probably because you changed colors and it just threw your mojo off.
Yeah, totally.
Alright,
Can I ask a question really quick?
Sure.
This is a question for Johnny. What was it like being on a panel with us today?
It's like so surreal. I grew up watching you guys. I don't know, I don't have words.
Alright, I think that's a good note to end on. Let's give it a hand for our Black Ranger.
Please come say hi. There'll be other tables with me, right? Yeah, all that stuff. But thank you. Thank you for having us. Cheers. To the board. All over. Play dead.
And our next panel will be Super Sentai Legends. Those are actors from the original Super Sentai series. They will be in here next.
All right, we're off then. Actually, I'm staying here. Hope you enjoyed this panel.